She begged him, please. He swore he wouldn't. Then the sky moved. A giant started smiling. Keys lost. Time gone. Hands cover the road. Only one prayer works.
If the dead still hunger for prayer, would you dare answer them? In a quiet prefecture, Kuyo Temple keeps vigil. 500 years of incense and ash and whispered names pressed into its bones. Stone lanterns watch like sentries, their faces pitted by weather and time. The incense clings sweet and bitter. Ash tastes like old vows on the tongue. The roof crouches, patient as a sleeping beast, waiting for a footstep that will wake it. At the boundary, paper streamers hiss in the breeze, a warning older than the fence. Reika Kisaragi stands centered, hair veiling one eye, pulse steady though her skin prickles. She listens to the hush, weighing which side of the fence fear lives on, this one or the one that stares back from the dark. Gravel grinds under hurried steps, sharp as teeth. A robe dark with sweat slaps the rail. The head priest from the neighboring town lurches in, chest heaving, breath scraping his throat like sandpaper, sour with fear. Even the sacred rope seems to shiver.
Reika greets him with a tired half-smile, the kind that hides knives. The old man, the one they call Old Beads, can barely swallow. His lips tremble, a thread pulled tight. His eyes will not leave what he clutches. He thrusts a battered book forward, knuckles white, begging for a memorial service as if wolves were at his back. Air leaves him in ragged bursts, each plea wet at the edges. Reika does not flinch. She takes the weight, lets its chill sink into her palms. Edges are frayed, stains bloom like old rain. The cover mutters a name, Kaki Roku, a ledger of the strange. He whispers that it catalogs phenomena, the kind that gnaw at sleeping houses and chew through prayers. Reika's pupils tighten, a small quake in calm water. Paper cannot bleed, he tells himself. Paper can bite. Could you survive what is written between those pages? If a single page could erase a room, would you still turn it? Old Beads wheezes, ribs rising like broken shutters. He held a memorial at his temple and paid in bodies. He swears one page dropped them all, breath snatched, pupils blown wide. A wet rasp scrapes his throat as he looks up for mercy. Reika does not blink. She accepts and sets a price. Her fingers skim the shimanawa, coarse hemp biting her skin, paper streamers brushing like moth wings. She wants that rope, the only boundary abominations still fear. In exchange, she will rip the curse out by its roots. The answer comes before the bargain can finish. Something coils around the priest's neck and twists it past human limits. Vertebrae pop like wet knuckles, tendons thrumming, a copper stink blooming. His body jerks, heels scraping stone, while his face points the wrong way. This is how a book kills without opening. Outside, stone bites her palms as Reika hits the walkway, breath smashed out. Something hurled her, or fear did, it hardly matters. The world tilts, gets a scuff, and a shadow keeps its distance. She drags air in, hot and sharp, like swallowing needles. Her left eye quivers, sweat salts her lip, and focus claws to hold. Her thumb finds the ledger from hell, Kaki Roku. The stab binding is frayed, stains dried to near black. The label refuses to fade. It feels colder than the night, as if the ink remembers screams. Could you keep reading, knowing a single page can devour a crowd? Silence answers, cold and patient, as if the shrine itself is listening. If a single book could swallow a town, would you open it under starlight? The temple breathes in the cold, incense ash brittle on the floor, and something listens. The nerd kneels before the Buddha, robe cinched tight, glasses catching firelight. She says all kinds of things get dumped here. Her voice stays calm, sharpened by a hunter's eye. She lists dolls that twitch when no one watches, photographs that trap long-haired, not-quite people. The air tastes of dust and old breath. Most of it is lies. Most are fakes brought by mistake, she admits, almost bored. Then her pupils narrow. The real ones arrive cold, like teeth on your spine. Yesterday, a thick ledger slid across the tatami. She knew at once. It was no toy, and it was no prank. It felt like a genuine grave, disguised as a book. Before any memorial, she must study its contents. Candles gutter, wax runs like pale tears. Her fingers hover, as if the ink might bite.
A sudden tear crawls through the page. Old fibers scream without a sound. She flinches, breath hitching, afraid the damn thing just woke up.
You worry about curses, someone whispers. She does not blink.
It is fine, she says. This place holds wards that smother malice before it draws breath. Across the walls, 300 talismans hum like a hive. Paper drinks the stray venom that leaks from names best left buried.
Chrysanthemums stare from black water. Bitter petals scent the room.
A clean knife sliding under rot. They stand as offerings to keep the Buddha company. 2 bodhisattvas watch with patient pity. In the center, one Tathagata burns like a small sun. Under their eyes, even abominations keep their distance. At the gate, stone guardians wait. A sacred rope girds the grounds, paper fangs dangling, daring any curse to cross and still breathe.
Long ago, they faced a spirit said to be the strongest in Japan. Talismans peeled like scabs, yet the deeper wards did not take a scratch.
She claims only if every curse in all Japan fell at once would this fortress break.
The room grows colder at the thought. Now she lifts a scroll, voice low. She invites a memorial for the first story. Her hands tremble once, barely.
Could you keep reading?
Imura speaks softly, a warning instead of comfort. Save your smile for daylight.
Here, something hungry will wear it first. What breaks first? The body or the mind? Out here, the mountain keeps score. A small house breathes in the quiet, resin on the air, while a giant abomination, older than the trail, listens. Could you survive? In the truck, the husband grips the wheel, skin damp and slick, the cabin reeking of stale tobacco and cold vinyl. He squints through the windshield, searching the empty air for memory. Where did I put them? He mutters, his throat drying. The words taste like iron. Car keys. They should be here. The mountain waits, patient.
He bursts inside. Mako! She barely looks up. Check your pocket. Metal kisses his palm, cold and unforgiving. He forces a laugh, but pride stings.
How many little slips before the big one? She asks, voice soft but sharp. Have you been forgetting things? His smile dies, eyes harden. He jabs a finger. That is not true. I am heading out. Denial stomps louder than truth, like boots on rotten boards. What if something is chewing the edges of his mind? Night drapes the ridge like wet fur, heavy and rank. Crickets chant, and the house creaks like an old rib cage. At the table he asks, "Is dinner ready?" Paper rasp scrapes his fingertips. Mako says, "We already ate." Heat crawls up his neck. A bead of sweat tracks his cheek. He chuckles, embarrassed. She steadies herself, then asks, "Could it be dementia?" The word hangs like a knife over the plate that is not there.
He snaps. That is not true. A chair scrapes hard. His breath shortens. I'm going out for a smoke. Mako watches his eyes, then follows the line of his lie. The cigarette pack sits on the table, mute and damning. You forgot your cigarettes. Silence swells, thick as tar. Out in the trees, something big exhales. An abomination waiting for a door to open. Out here, do not smile. The mountain thinks you are baring your teeth, and it smiles back. If the mountain outside your home grew another spine in the night, would you notice before it erased you? He steps into the cold, thin breath, feathering in front of cracked lips, the stars staring back without pity. His eyes snag on a ridge that should not exist, pupils widening as the soft "huh" in his throat curdles into dread. From the doorway, his wife calls for cigarettes, that ordinary salvation. He does not turn, because the hills look wrong. He raises his voice, dragging her name into the night. The mountains, he chokes. Their number has increased, has not it? Gravel grinds under their shoes, the truck looming mute, smelling of dust and old oil. He snaps that it is impossible, tells him to get a grip. He swears it is real, voice raw, hands spread like proof, fingers trembling in the porch light. Her fingers reach to guide him inside. His arm lashes out, and skin cracks against skin. The sharp slap startles even the crickets hiding in the weeds. "Hell no," he barks. "I am not going to any hospital." Spit strings between clenched teeth as he roars his denial. He does not have dementia. She answers with a cruel mercy, demanding the name of their son. The old man's pupils swell, fingers twitching like trapped insects, breath snagging in his chest. No name comes. She fires the answer like a flare. "Keiichi." He lunges for it, stammering. "That is right," gripping the name hard. He repeats it, as if repetition could nail it to bone. She warns that, at this rate, he will forget the important things. Pine breath creeps off the hills, tinged with something metallic, like a bloody coin on the tongue. The ridges seem to breed quietly in the dark. Silence settles, and the old man counts what can rot away. The car keys do not matter, he decides. Whether he ate dinner does not matter. Counting mountains does not matter. His resolve scrapes against the fear caged under his ribs. But his family does. The word warms and burns, like a coal he refuses to drop. He vows he will not forget his blood. He exhales, and a tremor leaves with the air. "All right," he says. "I will go to the hospital." Relief curdles when Mako stiffens, eyes watering under the starlight. Her lips tremble as she whispers, "There are too many." He squints at siding and sky, confusion thudding with his heartbeat. She points, steady despite the shake in her breath. "The mountains," she says. "Too many." His throat clicks, and he asks if she sees them too. "Yes," she answers, and the yard feels smaller than a grave. The horizon crawls like a living thing, peaks breeding under the stars. Could you survive a landscape that remembers you wrong? What if the mountain's not land, but something that wakes when you stare too long? Night holds its breath. The cold tastes metallic on the tongue. Stars scatter like salt across a bruise. A low groan climbs through the ridge, deep as a buried beast. Stones twitch. The peak flexes. Hairline cracks creep, and the sky thins by slow degrees. Dust lifts. The scent of old earth rises, and gravel rattles like teeth in a glass. The old woman claws his shirt, knuckles blanched, nails biting fabric. His jaw hangs, a dry click scraping in his throat. Their chests stall, then hitch. They tilt upward, hunted yet frozen, hands trembling, pupils blown wide. Would your legs move, or would fear ice your veins? Moonlight spills over gravel and rusted steel. The house watches with black windows. Over the ridge, a naked giant bears a grin, strings of slime dragging from its jaw. Its neck is too long, fingers like hooks, and it leans as if choosing meat. The couple stand welded together, breath fogging, while the truck ticks, useless and still. The elders trade a look that no prayer can soften. Crow's feet tighten. Their eyes shine wet, not from hope, from the sting of old terror. Shoulders hitch, breath scrapes rough like gravel in the lungs, and their nails dig into their palms to stay steady. It tilts its mask of cracked stone into view, one bulging eye rolling with hunger. Its teeth show, wide and wrong. Wet grit patters from its cheeks. The air reeks like damp graves. The thing rises from the rubble, shedding the mountain like a molting scab. Each tremor crawls up their shins and gnaws at their teeth. Drops fall like black rain. It wants to devour the little house, and anyone inside. If it steps forward, bones will snap like twigs. Could you survive that smile? How long could you stand when the hedge breathes back? When a smile moves in the leaves? Mako's breath snags, a thin rasp, pupils blown wide. Dirt grinds into her palm as she falters, cold sweat soaking her collar. Her husband hauls her upright, his voice raw. Run now, or it eats us. It rises, tall as hunger, ribs like broken ladders under cracked stone skin. Grit rains from its body, a graveyard smell rolling out. Their legs fire, muscles burning, hearts thudding like fists on doors. That eye tracks them, greedy. If it reaches them, it will devour them and tear them apart. Down the embankment, a flatbed truck crawls along the dirt, unaware of the mountain of flesh above. The pair sprint for it, lungs aflame. Fingers claw the air as the gap stretches, boots slapping mud. Overhead, that abomination watches, patient as winter. Could you outrun a mountain? A deep tremor rolls through the world, and chunks shear from its mask. Pebbles tick against the ground like black rain. One sunken eye peers out, bright with hunger.
In the cracked wall, a grin spreads as both hands push through wet stone. The air tastes like dust and old blood. The palm slams down, a heavy slab of meat that steals breath, debris stinging cheek and gums. Teeth chatter from the aftershock. The fingers twitch, lazy and sure, a neat hole near the thumb weeping dark. It is awake, and it wants more. Inside the truck, the wife shakes and urges the driver to move. Now. He fumbles, breath stuttering, hands shaking, cursing the damn keys. She cuts through the panic and snaps, "Check your pocket." Cloth scrapes his knuckles, metal bites his fingertips, and relief loosens his chest. Snow or ash drifts through the headlights, hissing on wet road. Two colossal hands lower from the dark, streaked with slick and grit. The truck huddles beneath them, tiny under a butcher's block. From inside, a voice exhales. "Found them."
A whisper curls through the cab, soft and wrong.
"Do not be sad. Smile more often."
Ask yourself, when the earth opens its ribs under your roof, do you run or do your legs turn to rotten wood? Soil needles stab upward. The hill flexes like muscle. The air turns gritty, scraping throats and stinging eyes, and your heartbeat knocks against your ribs while sweat chills your spine. Pressure builds. The hillside detonates again. Stones whip past like knives, tendrils lash the dark, and the night answers with a low, grinding roar. Something sits up in the wound it carved, gaunt and long. Skin cracked like a dry riverbed, one hand hooked to the rim for balance. The little house watches, its windows pale, while the stars hang cold and uncaring above the crater. It breathes slow and heavy, as if the night itself learned lungs. A stone face sheds, flakes breaking away. Empty eyes collapsing, a jawline surrendering to dust. Tooth-shaped shards tumble, whisper across the dirt, like a mask shrugged loose by something that no longer hides.
Mountains hold their breath. The cabin sits alone, small as prey, its roof a fragile shield under a field of cold stars. Silence stretches thin, and you feel it watching, palms slick, breath shallow, as if something learned to sit before it learned mercy. Could you survive if it stands? How many small changes does it take to betray a sanctuary? A flame breathing harder, ink blistering, incense turning from sacred to burnt. Wax sweats and crawls, heat kisses paper until it chars, tiny curls rising like dying skin. Could you survive the moment a prayer runs out? Reika the priestess kneels where the dark feels thick, silk sleeves whispering, eyes steady while her fingers tremble just enough to betray the strain. She lowers her voice and promises the work is done, the page laid to rest. Ash tastes bitter and metallic on the tongue you bite to keep quiet. She does not smile. "When you notice something wrong in a familiar room, it is already too late," she says. Idols loom like judges, lanterns hum, and your pulse climbs, slick and stubborn, cold sweat threading down your back as your pupils widen like a hunted animal. The ward waits on old wood, ink black as a drowned moon, a star stitched to keep the door shut. It looks simple. It smells of rain on paper and dried herbs, a clean bandage over a rotten wound. The corner lifts on its own, slow at first, as if the glue has learned to breathe. Fibers pull, whispering, and the seal loosens, thread by hungry thread. Something leans into the gap. The air tastes metallic, and the room turns colder, like teeth resting on the back of your neck. You thought the house was yours, but it has watched you the whole time. If you notice it now, you are already late. Smile if you want. The house likes it when prey bares its teeth. What happens when a story grows hungry enough to tear its own seal just to feed? Incense snakes along the floor. Candles weep slow wax. The sweetness curdles in the nose. She kneels in Kyu temple, knuckles pale around the beads, her voice steady as a scalpel, calling this hall a morgue for cursed things, memorial rites for objects that should have stayed buried. An avuda hangs from careful fingers, ink dark as dried veins. She reads the tale of the giant, and the talisman slips free. She does not flinch, but her grip tightens, the paper edge scraping skin until a thin bead of blood lifts. When a seal fails, something stirs behind it. Could you keep reading? In the archive, the walls wear stains like quiet confessions. She studies the record book and finally admits it is more dangerous than she imagined. Dust cakes the tongue with a sour film. Breath turns shallow. The air grows heavy, like a mouth right before a scream.
Pages lift with a dry rasp, like scales against bone. Well then, she breathes, inviting the viper to strike. Resolve cools the fear, but her hands tremble and her pulse drums in her ears. Shadow cuts across her eye, and a small smile sharpens. Proceed to the next record, she vows, and lay it to rest. If it fights, she will bury it. If it begs, she will silence it. Monsters hide in ink, and ink drinks blood. Could you turn that page? Kimura leaves a final warning. No comfort, no mercy. Save the smiles for the dead. If the woods kept a ledger, would your name be inked in sap or written in blood? And fix up. The canopy knots together, light filtering like slow water. The air tastes of pine breath, damp rot, and something older, patient, listening. She greets the flock with a bright smile, calls herself Miku, promises songs and feathers. Her hands smooth the straps, almost steady. She invites them to listen, to watch, as the wind combs the leaves. The forest answers with a hush that feels like a held breath. A rare visitor, she warns, eyes narrowing. Left at the pond, she points, and the water goes still like a mirror hiding secrets. Spear of blue grips the branch. The kingfisher, she explains, is beauty with a blade, a diver that kills with clean precision. It shines like a jewel, and people chase that shimmer for miles. Hunters wear bright colors too. They whisper cute and pretty, hearts light. Meanwhile, the little killer sharpens its hunger on silence, ready to strike and devour a flicker. Bucket Hat yelps about a huge bird, breath fogging the lenses. He grips the binoculars so tight his knuckles pale. The guide chuckles softly, teaching distance and scale. Close can fool the eye when your pulse is too loud. A child tugs her sleeve, swears a kukua calls from the brush. Small fingers point, nails dirty with trail dust. Maybe a crow, she offers, cawing thick as smoke. Crows gather where meat cools and secrets rot. Seniors shuffle, kids chirp, and the shutterbug lifts his long lens like a rifle. Voices rise, and the path drinks every step. Miku weighs the noise, her smile thinning. If something rules these trees, it heard them already. Smile if you must, but remember, the forest is watching. Ask yourself, what trophies does a quiet forest keep? Breath snag, boots stall, and a sharp branch holds something wrong. A hiker blurts, "What the hell is this?" Bucket Hat pivots, calm while the others shuffle. Someone stammers, "This?" She names the culprit. A shrike. Resin breathes from the bark, a faint copper tang riding the air. A lizard hangs skewered, belly slack, eyes dulled. Shrikes turn branches into butcher spikes, a pantry for lean months, or a brutal love letter. They call the habit Heiani. Nature stacks meat where predators can see. Grandpa swallows, his Adam's apple bobbing as he murmurs, "Cruel." His fingers tremble on the pack strap, knuckles whitening. The trail air feels colder, a hush crawling under the skin. Bucket Hat nods, voice thoughtful. She admits she has grown used to scenes like this, but seen this close, it bites. The carcass waits, skin puckered around the wood. Grandma edges closer, voice thin, each word riding a shaking breath. Bucket Hat turns and asks, "What is the matter?" A polite blade of concern. Her eyes shine wet. She whispers, "I cannot find my husband." Bucket Hat inhales sharply, and the group tightens. The trees listen, patient. Paths fork like jaws, and the forest smiles with all its teeth. Could you survive this place? Could you keep calm while the forest counts you, one by one? Like teeth on a jaw, Bucket Hat stops the line, voice steady, but her breath thins. Someone slipped off the trail. She orders the rest to wait, murmurs an apology out of habit, eyes already slicing the trees for the one who strayed. She and the old woman break from the herd, boots grinding grit. The trees lean in, trading shade for secrets, bark scraping the air. Responsibility cinches tighter than the pack straps. Sweat stings. She vows to find him fast. If she fails, the forest will write the ending in blood. The old woman keeps pace, smile thin, eyes lowered as if listening for a voice only she can hear. Her fingers twitch, barely, like catching a thread. A rustle ahead,
small and wrong. Bucket Hat freezes, her eyes widen, pupils blown wide. Something moves where no wind dares to play. She softens her voice, sets a hand on the old woman's shoulder, promises it is okay, promises this forest is small. The lie tastes like damp leaves on her tongue. The old woman thanks her, voice paper thin, gratitude trembling on a breath that smells of panic. They call his name into the lattice of branches. Nobuki-san. Dear. The sound scatters, returns thinner, like something chewed and spat back. As they walk, the old woman mutters about shrikes everywhere. The butcher bird, small and cruel, loves to pin meat to thorns. The thought knots in Bucket Hat's gut. Not that many, Miku answers, but doubt flickers. She feels watched. From the trees, from the grass, from the old woman's unreadable quiet. A whisper threads through the leaves. Do not be sad. Smile more often. It does not sound like mercy. The forest wanted to warn you. Would it whisper? Or would it pin its message to thorns? Could you keep walking, knowing meat gets archived on twigs? Bucket Hat hears the old woman murmur about butcher birds, her knuckles whitening as a cold sheen crawls her spine, and her gut knots. They spot trophies everywhere, grasshoppers pinned clean, legs rigid like prayer. The air tastes like copper and sap. A hand lifts, counting under the breath, then faltering. The forest seems to murmur, do not be sad, smile more often. The words land like a threat. A strangled cry rattles the trail. Bucket Hat freezes, eyes glassed with tears, breath thin as thread. The carrier lurches with a blonde girl, sweat slicking skin, her limbs useless. He jabs a finger at another ruin and spits the word shrikes. The word tastes wrong. The count stops being numbers. It becomes a pattern tightening. The answer stands ahead. A crow rammed through on a stick. Wings slack, black blood drying at the beak. Bucket Hat's breath snags, hands trembling. She does not debate. Everyone leaves the forest now. Shrikes hunt, sure, but they are tiny executioners. 20 centimeters, give or take. They cannot bring down a crow. This is not nature's cruelty. This is a person, which means they are close. The wife claws at Bucket Hat's sleeve, voice fraying around the missing husband. Bucket Hat's jaw sets. We leave. We call the police. We let them search. If we meet the bastard, they will hurt us too. She snaps for confirmation. Eyes flinch and drop. Tears cut clean tracks through dust on the old woman's face. Grief weighs more than any pack. Move! The sky glows white like a lid. Overhead, carcasses sway on poles and rope, paws limp, fur alive with flies. The path narrows between their dead eyes. Someone curses they should not have come. Bucket Hat counts the displays, and new ones bloom behind them. The culprit is nearby. Sweat crawls. A single eye lifts, hunting for what is already watching. A rasp rides the air. This has been Himura speaking. Do not be sad, and smile more often. Tell me, if the forest revealed a footprint with claws longer than your fingers, could you keep breathing? Or would panic clamp your throat shut? Bucket Hat locks up. 3 pointed toes gouge the wet earth, each tipped with a hook made to rip. Mud shines dark, smelling of damp leaves and iron. Her shoes look small beside it, laughably small. Warm breath threads out as she whispers about the print, and the woods seem to hold their breath with her. A hush shivers through the undergrowth. The brush hisses. Something heavy parts the leaves. A silhouette prowls between the trunks, black as a threat you cannot name. Her pupils dilate. Breath snags. Fingers bite into bark while cold sweat slides down her neck. The air tastes like wet stone. She listens, and the listening starts to hurt. A man rises from the green, binoculars tapping his chest, his voice low as he breathes one soft word, dear. Relief loosens the air, thin and untrustworthy. The print waits in the dirt like a wound that will not close. The old woman erupts, throat raw as she calls for her dear, joy cracking the fear for a heartbeat. Bucket Hat holds her stance tight, eyes locked on the trees. The woods do not whisper relief. They smell like damp soil and something hungry. Hope is bait. Stay sharp. Prints this size do not beg. They take, they devour.
How much weight can your conscience drag through a night forest when the path narrows and the dark breathes back? She lurches into view, straps biting, binoculars tapping bone, a swollen bundle riding her spine like a secret. Bucket hat freezes, throat sand dry, ears straining for footsteps that never come, only the creak of fabric and breath like gravel. A thin A slips out, a crack in the quiet. Old Bones keeps coming, chin low, eyes sunk, the harness gnawing her shoulders. Her mouth scrapes one word, like she is feeding it to whatever waits above her. The bundle sways, wood rubs on wood, the smell of damp cloth and something sweet that should never be sweet. Bucket hat's pupils blow wide, knuckles blanch around the strap on her pack. The weight shifts, fabric yawns, and a bald face slides into view, wrinkled like a dry riverbed, waxy as candle ends. It drops close, sudden and heavy, like the forest itself leaning in to sniff her fear. Jaw slack, eyes glazed, he rides her spine like cargo. Bucket hat staggers, bile burning the back of her tongue. Silence hits harder than any scream, because some burdens do not walk, they get carried, and they never let go. Could you survive? Do not be sad, save your smile for daylight, because the night here eats it first. How many steps from laughter to a last breath? In these woods, it takes one bad root, one hungry branch. He pitches forward, the strap cutting skin, the rifle clacking against ribs. Bark punches through his belly, hot and wet. Air leaves in a broken grunt. The forest does not warn, it eats. Faces snap toward the sound. The nerd blinks behind smeared lenses, breath fogging the glass. The short one hides behind a hip. His wife exhales one fragile word, dear. A scream rips the path wide open. Grief makes the leaves tremble. He hangs there, toes brushing dirt. The branch skewering him clean through. Blood snakes down his straps, slow and sticky. His jaw slackens. He tries to swallow, but the wood owns his throat. A man turned into pinned meat. How long can a body argue with a tree? Bucket hat hits the ground, grit grinding into skin. Her breath skips, pupils bloom wide. She stares into the thicket and cannot name it. What is this? She whispers, hoping words can cage it. Yuta charges the corridor of green, his pack slapping his back. Dad reaches, his voice cracking as he shouts, Yuta! Into the branches. Roots grope for ankles. Light dies under the canopy. They sprint, the long hair, the extra pair of hands, all dragged by the same terror. Overhead, a human shape sways, a crude effigy, or worse. Dad roars, Yuta, like his throat raw. Every step could trigger teeth in the earth. A stake grazes his cheek, then drives in. Wood scrapes enamel. He pleads, help me. Spit and blood stringing his lips. The trap wants to feast. Dad barrels toward him, cursing the bastards who planted this. Save your smiles. These woods do not care for warmth, they collect last breaths. If a forest grew teeth, could you keep your footing while branches searched for your ribs? The kid grips a dead branch, knuckles bone white, breath gritty against a dry tongue. Silence presses in, no wind, only that drunken tilt of the world that makes his gut slide. Bodies hang like butchered game, draped over bark, blood threading down the trunks. A girl wears a branch through her skull, lips slack, hair clotted with the iron stink. Another smiles on a stake, a sick mask of nerves firing after death. A long, hollow coo rolls through the trees, not a bird, more like hunger calling. Under the brim, the watcher goes still, sweat beads and runs. Pupils pinch to glass, and his tongue tastes of salt and metal. He swallows, ribs locked tight, willing them not to stir. If he shakes the branch, the forest will feed. It steps out, a feathered abomination crowned in beads, face smooth as a mask. Hollow sockets weep dark streaks, and human teeth clutch a man's arm like a handle. The limb hangs loose and useless. Tendon twangs when it swings. His hat fills with the stink of copper and old rot. It bites down. Wet fibers pop, and the arm jerks once inside that smiling mouth. The coo swells from both sides, echoing between trunks like a ritual, patient and proud. Run, and it hears you. Stay, and you are meat. Choose your hell. His hands tremble despite the grip, nails biting bark, and a thin thread of breath rasps between his teeth. The Ku hushes to a near whisper behind him, so close it warms his ear. Could you move before it does? If the only thing keeping an abomination asleep is a page and a prayer, would you burn it, then walk away? Flame licks the edge, ink blisters, paper curls like skin. A wet hiss rises, soft and hungry, and the smoke tastes like old dust and hair. The room holds its breath, waiting to hear if it will scream. She lifts the charred scrap and declares it laid to rest. Ash salts her sleeve while the statue looms, blind and patient. She trusts the mouth behind that page is shut. For now, faith is a lock, locks rust. Her voice drops as she warns about the forest. If the air feels wrong, leave before your courage lies to you. By the time you notice how quiet it is, something is already breathing in your shadow. Your palms sweat, your pupils dilate, your pulse stutters, and the trees lean in to listen. Could you run before your feet sink like stones? Outside, a wall of windows wears pages like bandages. The city exhales. Corners lift with a dry rasp, glue tiring in the dark. One by one, the wards curl, edges shiver, and they let go. Glass feels like eyes, waking, curious, hungry. If those were the only locks, what walks free when the paper gives up? Imura's voice lingers, then fades. Do not smile. Not here. The dark keeps count, and it smiles back. If the walls that keep the hungry dead at bay start to shed like dead skin, would you kneel and keep reading, or run? Wax fumes coil, thick and sweet, clinging to the back of the throat. Lanterns breathe, slow and tired. Paper wards lie like molted scales across the floor. The statue watches, a cold sun over a quiet grave. The reader in a dark kimono kneels with folded hands, knuckles whitening, a defendant before a silent god. She reads the tale of the hyene, her voice smooth, almost pleased. A dry flutter answers as about 10 wards surrender, sliding down like dead leaves. She tilts her chin, smiling through the curtain of hair, and whispers that there is no need to worry. Confidence warms her tone, while ash and incense cling to the tongue. She tallies the survivors without looking, claiming the walls still hold plenty of wards and other protections. Someone unseen gasps, small and sharp, like a match struck in darkness. She calls it a small matter. The idol looms, its halo blazing, indifferent as a judge. Fallen charms grit under her knees. Her hands do not tremble. Now she opens the record, pages rasping like teeth. She vows to lay the next account to rest, as if burying a restless corpse. Could you trust that smile when seals fail? Or would you flee before the flesh-eaters catch your scent? Rain picks favorites, or meals. If the downpour found you alone, would it spare you or devour you? They whisper about the umbrella woman. A narrow alley sweats under tired neon. Gutters gargle secrets, a modest bar holds its breath against the weather. Inside, tongues loosen, damp coats steam, and fear tastes like beer. For a grin and a swallow, the chatterbox asks about the rumor. His friend shakes his head, foam clinging to his lip, tells him to stop teasing and spill it. Their mugs clink, and the air turns expectant. A weary smirk, a bead of sweat, the defense of any tough act. His fingers worry the coaster, knuckles pale. He leans in and begins. It happened on a rainy day. She walks under clear plastic while rain drums a blunt rhythm. Mud sucks at her steps. Behind her, a gaunt shadow panoplia grass, sour breath and old rejection burning in his eyes. He begged and was denied until pride rotted. Now he chooses her neck, knife lifted like a promise. He surges, breath hot, blade hungry. His spare hand claws for warm skin. She twists, the umbrella tilts, and the storm howls in. The struggle is brief and ugly. Steel bites deep, and he severs her head. Blood mixes with rain, turning the world to thin pink water. Metal sings, gutters choke, and the umbrella lies open like a broken shell. He cradles the stolen trophy and slips into the night. Since that night, something walks where the rain never quits. A woman in white moves beneath a stained red canopy, her neck a silent hole. In her fist rests a cleaver that drinks the storm. She hunts the bastard who took her head. If she mistakes you for him, could you prove you are innocent before she decides to collect? Rain hunts the careless. If a headless woman stepped out of the storm,
Would an umbrella save your neck or mark you as prey? The diner hums, grease and coffee heavy on the tongue. The romantic fool mutters a warning about the umbrella woman who beheads anyone caught bare to the rain. The skeptic taps the table, knuckles pale, eyes cold, and picks the legend clean. He says she judges you by the canopy you hold. He smirks. He always carries one, so he is safe.
He exhales, long and dreamy, breath fogging the smeared window, and admits he wants to meet her. The skeptic recoils, voice cracking, fingers whitening around the mug, and spits, "Why the hell would anyone chase a decapitator?" The fool lights up, pupils dilating, swearing she is so beautiful you would want her head all to yourself. He dares fate, begging for one glimpse. The skeptic needles him, saying he will hit on anything, while the pendant lamp buzzes like a gnat above stale beer and burned oil. Jealousy bites. The single guy presses his cheek to the sticky table until it squeaks, foam sweating down the mug. He snaps at the lucky bastard with a girlfriend. The skeptic lets out a thin laugh, more apology than joy, and looks away. He tightens the screws. She died with her head severed, blood soaking the street. Even if you meet her, she is a walking wound, rain dripping from a raw neck where a face should be. They volley, calm at first. He says she is headless. The fool fires back that her form is still beautiful. A sculpture carved from fog. Jaws clench, feet tap under the booth. Voices rise, faces flush, breath turns sharp.
Headless,
He barks. Beautiful, the other howls. The argument rattles the glasses, yet neither man moves an inch.
The skeptic's mouth twitches. He snorts, trying to swallow the laugh, and it leaks out like steam through cracked lips. A nervous hiss in the rain-sunk room. Silence settles. Condiments sit like witnesses. Outside, rain waits for closing time. If ignoring the legend meant survival, would you keep breathing and walk away, or chase it into the dark and grin while you do it? Could you survive? Neon sears the eyes. Laughter hisses like steam from a ruptured pipe. The lightweight throws an arm high, swearing, "I'll meet the umbrella woman tonight." Cheap malt and bravado sour his breath. The straight edge steadies him, muttering, "You're too damn drunk." Their voices rattle the glass, and the street watches, hungry for fools. They spar with friendly knives, the straight edge's jaw tight with a jealousy he would never admit. Over a girlfriend the lightweight swears exists. The lightweight grins, plotting, bragging, "I'll snag her number, I'll marry her." Rain leaves a metallic film on their tongues, like a coin pressed to the gums. The straight edge smirks, "Try." Above them, wires hum like restless veins. They reach a fork, safety to the right, temptation to the left. The straight edge lifts a hand. Get home safe. The lightweight cups his mouth and bellows for the umbrella woman, then lurches into the dark. The night takes his footsteps one by one, patient as a predator. Silence seeps back in, broken by a distant hiss as rain teases rooftops. The straight edge walks alone, replaying the wobble in his friend's steps, shoulders tightening with each memory. Did the fool make it home? Or is the night chewing him slowly? Cold pinpricks tap his open palm, tiny warnings marching across skin. The air smells of iron and wet dust. The sky rips open, umbrellas bloom like dark flowers. Through the sheets, a lone canopy glides, steady, too steady. His pulse kicks, breath hitching warm against cold rain. The word claws up his throat, the umbrella woman. For a heartbeat, the street tilts under him. Panic crawls across his face, fingers shaking as he checks empty hands. No umbrella, no cover, no plan. If he meets her soaked and stupid, what happens? He skids to a halt on slick stone, toes on the line between luck and legend. Rain drums harder, urging a choice. A voice cuts the downpour, sharp and bright, calling his name. Storm Girl barrels in under a big black canopy, knuckles white on the handle. He turns and shrugs. It's just Chica. The words land cold. Her smile tightens while rain frets along the rim. She snaps, "I came all this way to bring your forgotten umbrella." Gratitude should be simple, yet he grins and admits, "For a second, I thought you were the umbrella woman." Curiosity sparks in her, pupils widening. Umbrella woman, what's that supposed to be? The legend is a hook with glass on the barb, and they have both bitten. If a legend dialed your number during a storm, would you answer? A phone rattles on wood, insect sharp, begging to be answered. Unknown source, unknown hunger. The nerd lifts it, throat tight, habit forcing politeness into his voice. He says, Takahashi, while steam fades from a lonely mug and his thumb slips on the screen. The reply is clean and cold. The police. The word locks his jaw. A thin "huh" leaks out as his pulse thuds in his ear. He hears the name Tachon, then the word missing. His grip creaks on the phone, sweat beads along his temple. The room tilts like a deck in heavy seas. The voice asks if anything unusual, if anything seems off at all. His tongue turns to paper, while the silence hisses. He mutters they drank last night, his buddy wasted and smiling crooked. Cheap liquor ghosts his breath. Maybe something hunted him on the walk home. A spark cuts through the fog. He remembers the umbrella woman. The drunk swore he would meet her. People whisper about a street myth with wet feet and a smile slit from cheek to cheek. The line goes rigid. The officer asks him to repeat.
He backpedals, breath shallow, says it is nothing. The suit thanks him, tells him to call if anything surfaces.
Silence drops, heavy as a soaked coat.
Storm Girl watches his shoulders tremble, her pupils pin, jaw set, voice steady. What is wrong?
He forces it out. Tachon is missing.
She nods once, knuckles white on her umbrella strap.
I will look too. Denial claws up his throat. He whispers, no way. Outside, the rain keeps eating the city, chewing the edges off familiar streets. What kind of woman waits where umbrellas bloom like traps?
The rain does not forgive, and smiles cost more than courage. Smile at the wrong stranger, and you might never make it home.
Could you chase a name through a storm that chews the city to pulp? He does. He drives Tachon into the downpour, again and again. The figure ahead drifts beneath a clear shell, rain drumming like teeth. His breath burns, his throat tastes like rust. This corner, he swears, is where they split last night. Knuckles ache around the umbrella's grip. He starts to shout, then stops. Something snags his eye. His brow knots tight. A patterned canopy blooms in the rain, floating like a jellyfish over asphalt. Who waits there, smiling at mistakes, harvesting strays? She stands mid-path, still as a gravestone. Her dress is soaked to the shins, umbrella steady, back turned. The garden lamps glow like watchful eyes.
Rain hammers his plastic roof. His pupils flare. Every instinct says approach, but every scar whispers, keep your distance. The air smells like wet iron and moss.
A headless display gleams, absurdly beautiful in the rainlight. He almost smiles, then curses himself. What the hell is he thinking? This is not the time.
Focus snaps into place, sharp as a blade. Fear pulls his skin tight. He chooses the hunt over hunger for pretty distractions. He strides into the alley, voice breaking across the rain. "Excuse me," he calls, to the shadow under the distant umbrella.
The storm swallows words, but urgency cuts through. He asks if they saw a blonde man last night. Every second feeds the flood, not his hope.
Wind punches the street. A clear umbrella rips free, skates like a ghost, the ribs clattering. He flinches, teeth bared, as strangers duck and curse. He steadies. A crooked grin, a decision. He leaves the broken wing to drown and pushes on, deeper. Could you keep going, or would you hide? Himura does not slow, no comfort, no easy smiles, only answers. How long could you hold a stare when the night stares back? Rain needles his face, his breath pauses, pupils clamp to pinpricks. The world narrows to the throb behind his eyes and the cold ache in his teeth. He tastes metal, jaw locked, skin slick with storm sweat and ozone. Something is wrong out there, close, closer. Would you run, or let it find you? Through the downpour, a shape waits under a ruined umbrella, dress plastered to sickly skin. The stranger does not wave, does not call, just stands and soaks. He cannot swallow, tongue stuck, hands stiff at his sides. Eyelids tremble, veins thread red, every blink a betrayal. The storm smothers footsteps, yet dread walks straight up his spine. As she nears, the canopy sags, riddled with holes, dripping like old wounds. No face beneath, only darkness pressed against the plastic sheen. The dress clings, flecked with stains the rain cannot wash away. He does not breathe. He counts the drips to stay alive. A throat stretches into a pole where a head should be. The umbrella sprouts from her neck like a fungus. She cradles a cleaver, casual, water crawling off the blade like cold tears. A roadside sign gleams, lonely, while trees hold their breath. She is an answer to a question no one should ask. Could you look up at that and still believe in mercy? Under the slant of a roof, she lifts the metal high, wrist loose, grip sure. Rain hisses on steel, a soft, hungry sound. His knees shake, not from cold but because instinct screams to kneel or to run. He hears his heartbeat, a drum daring her to strike. The cleaver carves the air, hard and eager. The night splits. Blood freckles the edge, proof that someone already lost. She does not hesitate. She eliminates. You can pray, but the blade does not care. Rain swallows the world, steady and merciless. It drowns every plea, every name, every promise. In that curtain of water, abominations hunt with patience. If you met her at a lonely stop, would you have the courage to never look up? Keep your eyes on the puddles, count the drips, and whatever whispers above you, do not look up. How long could you hold your breath, knowing the dark is not empty, only patient? It waits, savoring the instant you blink. Bright sky grins as if nothing happened. Rain rinses the streets, the sun dries the alibi. Predators love clean light. It hides the stains. The body hunches on wet stone, the head gone, the neck a raw mouth that still weeps. The iron stink coils up, heavier than the breeze. Cloth clings, shoes hide nothing, and red freckles the places the rain could not cleanse. Blood pools in a wavering halo around the torso. An umbrella blooms above like a cheap shrine, offering shelter to the mess, not the lost. The convex mirror watches. The street bends around the secret, and no one screams. Was it a clean kiss of steel, or a hungry bite from an abomination that grins at sunlight? They thought the storm meant safety, and daylight meant mercy. It devoured both, and it devoured them. Could you walk through here and keep your eyes down? Could you hear the drip without tasting metal on your tongue? Do not be sad. Smile if you can, and pretend the shadows are not watching. If rain could wash away guilt, why does fire do the burying? Pages curl. Ink blisters. The shrine breathes through a throat of smoke. Paper crackles, wax sweats, and that sick sweetness crawls up your tongue. Someone chose the slow erasure, letting heat devour each line. Could you stand close and not flinch, hearing paper strain like held breath? He kneels before the many-armed watcher, hair veiling his eyes, a practiced smile hooked at the corners. He declares the page laid to rest like a cooling corpse. His voice cuts soft, promising that rainy days demand an umbrella. Not for water, but for misfortune with teeth. He whispers of worse than storms, while wax tears cling to the candles. The hall listens, stone cold and faithful. The flowers stand tall, drinking the lantern light, each petal tight as a held breath. Beauty pretends to be mercy, right before the knife. A petal lets go, drifting like a tired eyelid. Stems sag, color leaks, and the room smells wet, like a grave after rain. Whatever blessing lived here just turned its face. Misfortune arrives quiet, like a hand on the back of your neck. Carry your umbrella, or carry regret. Could you survive a day that smiles while it eats you alive? Could you pray while an altar rots under your breath? Faith breaks. Offerings die on cue. He read the Umbrella Woman record. The keeper held his breath. Chrysanthemums drooped, necks snapped by thirst. They didn't just wither. Something drank them dry. Petals curled. Stems went slack. He named it unnatural, and the room agreed. He shrugged it off. Flowers die. He won't fuss. He'll swap in fresh ones. He kneels and breathes steady. Pages slide. Petals cling to the ledger. He says they'll craft a memorial for the next record. His hand moves. Names wait like ghosts. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you trust your bed if a stranger breathed under your sheets? The office drone yawns, locks up, and grumbles. He says goodbye to nobody. His skin prickles. The door thuds. The room holds its breath. Sheets rustle. Someone lies there. It's night. The tired suit shuffles in, slurs hello, and exhales relief. His eye snaps wide. The air tastes stale, like a mouth breathing. He freezes. A long strand sprawls on the floor. He lifts it. The length defies his room. He laughs it off.
Train hair, he says. His fingers tremble anyway. He flicks the strand into the trash. Paper sighs. He groans about a bath and bed. Darkness swallows the room.
This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you trust a quiet building?
The office worker unlocks, walks in, and greets the dark. His bag drags. His pulse climbs. He freezes. Loops scar the tiles again. He suspects a stalker or a burglar. Sweat beads. Fingers twitch. He yanks a drawer and checks his valuables. Cords snarl. A page crawls with frantic loops. His pupils widen. Breath snags. He stumbles and crashes by the sofa. Air leaves his lungs. He pants that someone entered while he was out. He pictures a woman slipping in. He bolts a camera under the overhang. Plastic clicks. The lens hums and sweeps. He vows to catch her. He wants proof. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Apri, could you sleep while something counts your breaths? The camera won't blink. Hair whispers across his cheek. He jerks up. His heart's hammering. His cheek tingles like cold spider silk. He slaps the light. The desk rat freezes. Something's wrong. Overhead, the camera whirs. He's panting into the glow. Static claws the laptop. He scrubs to the moment and watches the chair spin. Metal clatters without hands. An abomination rises by the chair. The watcher can't blink while it rustles closer. It slides low, unfolds tall, and strikes. Hair pours like tar and drags him right. The room won't save him. He can't stop shaking on the mattress. Air hisses from the vent. His pupil shrinks. He knows it's here. She sweeps past the window frame, face inverted beneath choking hair. It won't slow. The signal coughs back. It's hunting. She lunges from the desk. He screams as it hits. Webbing veils his face. He thrashes and howls. On the recording, the chair rattles. The bed creaks like old bones. A heavy thud answers. The screen drowns in snow. One blip, and it's gone. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you survive a sanctum that lies about its wounds? The keeper closes a case, but the room won't rest. He rolls the beads and listens for liars in the dark. He warns the break-in signs might be non-human. A candle hisses and nips the hanging slips. Heat bites skin. Resin breath smothers the tongue. The plant explodes. Soil peppers the floor. An unseen hand hurls the pot into the idol's foot. Stone rings. Flames shiver. The shrine takes the hit. The keeper doesn't flinch. It wants blood, and he knows it. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you keep reading while the dead breathe down your neck? The keeper studies the peaking long hair. The air thickens. Candles quake. A vase launches and explodes. Shards bite the floor. Liquid crawls. Something intrudes on holy ground. He doesn't flinch. He dismisses the damage like pocket change. He vows safety with a calm tongue that chills. He offers the next record. Paper tears from the book. They call it the Honorable Death Tree. At the shrine, visitors praise the blessed ginkgo. The rebel Yumi prays to find her missing Shingo. He vanished 3 days ago. Her breath shakes between words. The rope marks a boundary something loves to cross. Yumi laughs at rules. She blames the caretaker's booze and snaps a twig. The rule follower, Kanai, protests with tight lips and worried eyes. Yumi swears the sacred wood grants wishes. Kanai's gaze softens. Temptation slides under her skin. A pale hand creeps from the trunk. Kanai freezes. Her pupils flare. She scrubs her eyes raw. The bark stands empty. Silence grins. Yumi calls her over. Normalcy waves like bait. Something brushes her hood. The rustle crawls down her spine. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you escape a curse that latches on like a petal? Kane waits alone, breath shallow. She's worried about the rebel, Yumi. Tough girl prayed. That means desperation. Kanai's fingers tremble.
The television spits dread. A woman hangs at a shrine. Kane jolts, lips parting. The report pegs death to hours. She can't ignore the math. They were close when she died. She imagines feet swaying over roots. Her pupils dilate. She snatches her phone. Urgency claws her throat. She calls Yumi fast. Her voice cracks. She's demanding answers about the news. Static bites the line. Yumi mutters they've found Shingo, thanks to the sacred tree.
Kanai gasps, heart pounding.
Yumi goes quiet. The beeps cut through. The call dies in cold air. Since that call, Yumi's vanished. Kanai curls up and whispers her name. The television rolls into unsolved cases. Within 1 week, people vanished. Each kept Ginkgo at home. Police think it's one predator. Kanai whispers Ginkgo, cheeks draining pale. She connects the curse. A woman hanged at the sacred tree left a grudge. Kanai shakes and regrets bringing a branch home. A noose sways in her living room. The rope creaks. Her breath stutters. She screams. A loop swings over her bed. She stares and chokes on air. More loops crowd the window. Leaves hiss outside. Something hungry waits beyond the glass. The sacred tree births pale hands, grasping. Kanai insists she didn't take anything. Her hoodie betrays her. A white petal nests in the collar. The grudge tightens the rope. Her toes leave the floor. The window frames a hanging shadow. Could you break that curse? This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you survive a shrine that feeds on gratitude? A priest offered a ginkgo branch. The kid grabbed it. A debt got planted. Ponytail and long hair thanked the elder. He walked away. A root dragged behind him. It tethered him to the sacred tree. He smiled. His face cracked like old bark. Wind ripped the street. Leaves swarmed. They yelped and shielded their eyes. A leaf snagged Ponytail's hair. Leaves filled the sky. A ritual tree loomed like a gallows. Bodies hung in rows. A robed figure waited at the shrine. The watchers held their breath. Hanged bodies kicked and spasmed. Spikes wore severed arms like trophies. A colossal eye abomination opened. It bled black tears across cracked flesh. A gust slammed them again. Their pupils dilated. Their breath rasped. Leaves knitted into two human shapes. One leaf fell into silence. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often. Could you survive if faith lied to you? A calm sky smothers a city swallowing its own. The talking head confirms more vanishings. Families file reports. Fear spreads like rot. A small shrine waits behind a fence, patient like a trap. Would you step through that gate? Ginkgo leaves drift. Air tastes bitter. The curious one halts. Breath fogs. Fingers twitch. They stare up, confused. That tree shouldn't exist here. Memory slips. Instinct screams, walk away. In shadow, the keeper feeds a page to flame. It hisses. Smoke bites the throat. Ash nips her hand. She declares the entry buried. Her voice doesn't waver. She challenges the faithful. Do you know what you kneel to? You might worship a horror. It smiles while it eats. The hall answers. Lamps quiver. Wood groans. Something wakes between the niches. Pray fast. It won't wait. This has been Himura speaking. Don't be sad and smile more often.